This is Mr. Curtis's third period world history, and this is Riot Reviews!
Thanks World History for that lovely shout out. It's November and everyone is in the mood for winter and the chills that come with it. It's November 6th and I'm Cameron Nord.
And I'm Isabella Vollmer. Winter's coming here at Port Angeles High School and there's a lot of things going on right now during this most wonderful time of the year. As you know, this year we've been focusing on the subject of climate change. Last time Mr. Gallagher talked about climate change in the 50s and 60s.
This week, however, we jump into the present day and the effects that climate change has had on us now and our soon-to-be future. Let's see what Mr. Gallagher has to say about this relevant subject, and let's hope we stop it soon.
So in the 1970s, people started worrying about the Earth and the greenhouse effect. Could we become another Venus? Now, we're not going to become another Venus. It's not going to be 900 degrees Fahrenheit here or anything like that. But since then, temperatures have been rising, and we've been tracking those. Now, I graduated from high school in 1984, and that was just about the time that everybody was focusing on climate change and the greenhouse effect and how we had to fix the problem because things were going to get really hot. Now, back then, a lot of people that said that by the year 2000, we would be seeing huge effects. Now, did we see huge effects? No, we saw slight rises in temperature, slight rises in sea level, but enough so that in the early 2000s, some things happened that I wouldn't have expected just 20 years before then. I grew up in New York City. I never expected to see water washing onto Manhattan Island from storms. Never had happened before. And now in the early 2000s with hurricanes, it was washing onto the island, it was going into the subways, it was shutting it down. It was destroying places like Atlantic City and a place out in Long Island, I forget what they called it, but things got washed away in those storms. Stuff that growing up, I never heard happen. We didn't get hit with those kinds of storms. And so people were worrying, are these storms being exacerbated by the global warming, by the climate change? And that is one of the effects. Now at first, people weren't sure because with a warming atmosphere, well, then you have a slight difference between the atmosphere and the water in the ocean. Will it really cause stronger storms? And so people were slow to react and slow to decide. And now we are here in 2019, and everybody is pretty much agreeing that the rising global temperatures are caused partially by man. Now, some of it's going to be a natural effect of coming out of the little ice age and the big ice age, but some of it is definitely caused by man. It is affecting our temperatures, it is affecting the strengths of our storms, and we're going to continue to see these things. So what does it mean for the future? Is it going to be another Venus? No, it's not going to be another Venus. But we're going to continue to see people having to move from warmer places to traditionally cooler places. We will see the breadbasket of the United States moving up to Canada. And maybe the Canadians will be happy because they'll take over all those wheat farms and we'll lose out on it. But it's not going to be the end of humanity right away. Don't take those doomsayers, just like the people who said, oh, it's going to be awful by 2000. Well, it was a little changed by 2000. I've heard people saying 30 years. I'm not going for 30 years. But in the time of our species, we are going to probably be doomed in thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. And that's the concern, is that we should care about that future. And what's happening in the next 100 years, we'll probably see a migration to the north. And so watch that. Now for me personally, what does it mean? When I graduate in 2026, the first thing that I'm gonna do in September of the year that I'm not teaching is go up to see the polar bears, because I wanna see them before they go extinct. Those species will be dying out. We're gonna be around for a while longer. Don't worry about us, worry about them. That's all I have to say.
Thank you to Mr. Gallagher for giving us your wisdom on such a colorful subject. You know what else is a colorful subject?
Why, our school's very own Gay Straight Alliance, or also known as GSA. Let's take a look on what's going on, what they're about, and hope to achieve, as well as how you can participate in this fantastic club.
What is it like being here?
It's really nice. We're very inclusive and we can talk about pretty much anything as long as it's school appropriate, honestly.
What exactly do you think this club helps people?
It helps people talk about certain experiences they've had or stuff that they have in common. It's really nice to get to know people.
Just this club in general. What exactly do you guys plan to achieve?
We just want to make the school more inclusive and just a lot more nicer, I guess.
So I can help others like who are going through what I'm going through, and so we can just show the school that we exist and we're not little pipsqueaks that go cry on their own or little snowflakes. We have our own lives. We do what we want. We're here to just live our own lives.
You know, I've been hearing a lot that you guys want to be more inclusive. What exactly do you plan to do, like in terms of events, things like that, posters perhaps?
Recently, we just coming out day was October 14th, I think. Yes, October 14th, which was a Friday a few weeks ago. But we did a sale for. We sold buttons and stickers that were LGBT related, and then some Halloween ones since it's getting up to Halloween time. But in the future, we plan to do more things. There's a day sometime this year. Since it's getting closer to Halloween time, we might sell more of those Halloween stickers since they were one of our most popular things at the moment. And we do definitely plan on having sales within the year, so if you want to buy buttons or stickers, come find us.
All right.
Thank you, GSA, for telling us what you're all about. Now on to our next rather successful subject, the College Success Foundation.
You've heard about it on the morning bulletin, but what are they about? Why are they here, and how can you be a hero too? We sent our crew to find out just that.
All right, so what we actually do is I have meetings in advisory with my students every other week where we move through a curriculum that deals with school skills, like how to take notes, how to study for tests, how to organize yourself, how to manage your time, how to prioritize assignments. We also work on social and emotional skills, and it's nice to be in a group. So my students get group support in that way. We also go on field trips. So, for example, November 1st, we're going to the National College Fair and touring Seattle University, and then we're going to stop at an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet on the way home. So we do trips to increase exposure to colleges and post-secondary options. And then I do one-on-one supports with my students. So I'll cruise around the high school and pull them out of class and talk to my students about grades or social life or home life or whatever it needs to be talked about or whatever they want to talk about. So the presence of a caring adult is also highly impactful in my students' life and students' lives in general. That's what I do with my students as freshmen and sophomores. For the juniors and seniors, Rosalind works with them on a little more concrete post-secondary planning, like filling out the FAFSA, applying for scholarships, navigating the college application process, doing more comprehensive college tours and visits. They go on like a 4-day summer college tour where they're staying in the dorms at various colleges.
Now for our final segment on this week's episode, we asked some students what some of their favorite spooky Halloween movies are.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Rider News. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you on the next episode of Rider News.
What's your favorite Halloween horror movie?
That'd have to be House of a Thousand Corpses or any Rob Zombie horror movie.
I don't even know who that is. What's your favorite Halloween movie?
The Charlie Brown Halloween specials.
Good choice. What is your favorite Halloween movie?
Charlie Brown.
Nice. What is your favorite Halloween horror movie?
You know, if I had to choose what my favorite horror/Halloween movie was, it'd probably have to be Sleepwalkers.
What is your favorite Halloween movie?
I like Charlie Brown.
What did you go as for Halloween?
A worm.
Nice. What did you go as for Halloween?
A detective.
Interesting. What did you go as for Halloween?
Scooby-Doo.
What did you go as for Halloween?
Nonconformist.
Very